So what are some of the questions that we should be asking ourselves when we are in twin flame connection? I would say the biggest and most important question to ask yourselves is, does the other person recognize the connection for what it is? Because if they don't, more than likely they're going to reject the connection. Second thing, assuming the answer to question number one is yes, are both of you answering the invitation of the universe? Because that's really what it is, the recognition of a twin flame connection, a counterpart connection, a mirror soul connection, however you want to state it. When you are recognizing this person that you used to share a singular consciousness with in some part of creation at some point in time, but time does not exist. But anyway, does this other person also answer the call of it? Are they responding to the invitation? Are they RSVPing to the invitation? If they're not RSVPing to the invitation, I can tell you right now, doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Because it's exactly what it is. This is not a be-all, end-all. If things do not pan out with this connection in the way that you're hoping it might, that's because in some way, shape, or form, one or both parties have not replied to the invitation. And if that happens, you're more than capable of nullifying that contract. You're more than capable of being like, okay, well then I welcome what is more aligned. Because clearly, if both parties cannot even RSVP to the invitation, then I don't think we're going to the party. You know? Now, if both of those things are a yes, then it comes down to, are both parties actually ready, number one, and willing, number two, to go through the individual inner work that it will require to come into union within themselves that would allow for this connection to come into union together. That is an important one too. They're all important. At any point in this process of these questions, the answer can be no. And if the answer is no for one or both individuals, the answer is no for the pair, for the pairing. Because you can't do it alone. You cannot get there alone. It does require the cooperation of the counterpart. And if that's not the case, that's not the case. Not everybody's going to see it for what it is. Not everyone is going to welcome it. Not everyone is going to respond to the invitation. Not everybody is going to be willing or ready to do what it's going to take to get there. And that is valid. That is their choice. And that is the beauty of it, because all of it's about free will. We all get to choose. But once you actually come into true alignment within yourself, you realize that that connection isn't the all-important thing that you've made it out to be, or that it felt like. Can it be? It can be absolutely powerful and dynamic, and it can be something truly incredible. It really can. It has that potential. But when you have come into full union with yourself, you're no longer doing things for that outcome. You are no longer doing the inner work solely so you can get an outcome. And the cat is saying all of this is correct. No. So it really does come down to, are you last question And it should be the one you're asking yourself the whole way through. Am I doing this work for the hope of an outcome? Is it because I'm clinging to the idea of an outcome that I want? Because if that's why you're doing it, you still have not come into union with yourself and you are still attached. Attachment will keep you from the outcome you want, no matter what. Okay, I forgot to mention earlier. Part of this too is sometimes the answer is no for now. Like sometimes, in some cases, like I have seen some cases where it was no for a little while, where it was the answer is no for now, like the timing is not correct. So that's another thing too. And that's why it's so important to come to union within yourself, because if you're stuck in that mindset of, oh, well, maybe it's just not the right timing, that creates an attachment to the outcome still. And as long as we are attached to outcome, we're living in attachment, not in unification within the self. Because unification within the self is really coming to that realization that this person is not your other half. Once your consciousness is split, once your sparks of creation split into these two different essences, each essence was whole in and of itself. So if we are still in this idea of, oh, they're my other half, we're not in unification. And it's difficult to get out of that idea, especially when you've literally seen that consciousness split and those two consciousnesses become themselves. But thankfully, when I saw mine, I was able to view that there was a difference in the other. We were not exactly the same. The piece that had split off of me did not retain some of the memories that I retained, and was therefore able to go forth and be its own essence without some of the things that I was carrying. So with a little bit more of a freedom, and recognizing that that's exactly it, because a mirror is not showing you an exact image, it is showing you a reflection, and things are flipped. What one possesses, the other needs, and what the other possesses, one needs. Like, it's very much a complementary situation. Like, those two essences are complementary to each other. And it can lead to really beautiful creative aspects. It really can. Like, these connections can really draw out the creative presence inside each of us. That is something I definitely experienced, is that creative aspect came out full force for me. And for that, I'm always incredibly thankful.